coming back to the question, is Pakatan sustainable? Why don't I throw this question to the floor? The fact that you are here means you are curious about this answer. I want to throw this question. I have 3 options for you to choose. 1, you do not think it is sustainable. Number 2, you like to think it's sustainable, but you have a lot of doubts at the back of your head. Number 3, you are dead sure it is 100% or close to 100% sustainable. Okay. Who thinks it's not sustainable? Show of hands. Thank you. 2 persons there. Who has doubts? I would say 40%, 30–40% of the people in the audience, and who believe that it will definitely be sustainable. Okay, that's the majority. So maybe I don't have to talk so much after all. We have seen crisis after crisis. Or rather, that's what the media would like to tell us, both online and offline. They tell you, Pakatan is having another crisis. Will this crisis break the back of Pakatan? Oh, we are facing the sternest test ever since Pakatan came into power. Crisis after crisis after crisis about Pakatan. And it was just what? 18 months. Non-stop crisis. It's like me and Dr. Zul is fighting every day. Started with what? Started with para selection of the MB. I'm sure some people, wow, after so many crises, yeah, that was the first one. DAP pass selection of an MB for para. That was a crisis. But look at para today. Yes, we lost it to Barisan through a what we call illegal power grab. But look at the cooperation between the 3 parties in para. I think that serves as a model that the rest of the Pakatan state can follow to show that unity there is among the 3 parties. And all they did was very simple. They had 5 principles. I think things to do with welfare, justice, equality, things for the poor, and so on. Any issue they face that comes to the table, they judge by these 5 yardsticks. As long as it complies with this, they approve and go. And look at the support they had from the people. I mean, can you imagine in Perak, in one of those remote Chinese fishing villages, the most China that you can find in town. Even for me, a Chinese, I see them as very China. Stall selling wanton mee or char siu fan, putting Nizas and the moon on their stall front. And in these Chinese kampungs, where 97.5% of them are Chinese, not only Chinese, are only China, 85% voted for the moon. Everyone was singing the moon represents me. It was the most popular because every time the phone rings, it was that was Perak. And then what else you have? Before Kuala Terengganu elections, what was the crisis? You would have forgotten by now, but it was a huge issue then. What was the crisis? Husam, in a debate with Khairi Jamaluddin, said, pass once an Islamic state. We will implement hudud laws. Big crisis. Big crisis. But DAP went to KT. We supported the elections. Yes, we didn't manage to influence too much of the Chinese votes, but we threw our hearts into it. And I think our past friends appreciated our efforts in Terengganu, and we won the elections in Kuala Terengganu. But everyone seems to have forgotten the crisis then, today. In fact, that is a big issue that's still relevant today. No? How do we resolve this supposedly most key principal ideological difference between the 3 parties? PAS supports an Islamic state. DAP supports a secular state. PKR supports both. How do we resolve this? You know? Maybe it's not due to be resolved yet. Maybe this is one of the 100 issues that are present that needs to be resolved in this country, and PAS, PKR, and DAP agrees on 95% of them. So why we look at this 5%, why not look at this 95%? And that helps us move forward. And maybe with moving forward, with better understanding of each other, the 5 problems will resolve itself in the time to come. Maybe we don't have a solution now, but maybe after resolving 95% of the problems we have, this 5 problems becomes, got issue there? We don't know. Okay? But I think the important thing we face today is that there are 95% of problems that we all agree with. Eradicating hardcore poverty, eradicating poverty, justice for the people, non-racial based politics, fairness for all races in this country. A lot of issues. Don't talk about these issues, even issues like teaching of maths and science and English also got polarity between the different parties. So that, the Islamic thing is only one issue. It will be an issue if one of the parties choose to make it an issue. If DAP decides, die, we want secular state and we want everything secular, then habis lah. Or, I dare say for my friends in the past, if they say, die, we want Islamic state today, regardless of all the other 95% of the problems, then die lah. But that's not the case. Okay? I will talk a bit about the lessons we have learned in the past later, but that is not the case. There are many other crises. Recently, the most recent one that they think that, Pakatan is about on the brink of breaking up. DAP pull out from Kedah. Where's the issue now? It has been resolved. Yes, it got to a stage that it shouldn't have gotten to. It shouldn't have gotten to a stage where DAP has to threaten or to pull out from Pakatan in Kedah. There were reasons for that which I won't go into. Okay? Reasons that most people don't see. Things that happens behind the scenes that couldn't be resolved before that. But it happened, the leaders put their minds to it, the issues have at this point in time been resolved, and it will be. And we hope that based on whatever that is resolved, it will be implemented accordingly, and Kedah is back to normal. What other issues we face? Penang. We all heard the big fight between Lim Guan Eng and Anwar Ibrahim. One being not happy with the other. On the, Penanti by-election, the DCM. But that was, I would not say that was, there was no fight. It wasn't a fight, it was a verbal, tiff between the two on the manner in which certain things should be done. But I think that's perfectly normal. It is absolutely normal. A lot of you are married here. How many times have you not quarreled with your husband or your wife? Does it mean you divorce every time you want to quarrel? You resolve the issue. There are going to be differences. We are all humans. Within the party, between the parties, there are going to be differences that comes with mistakes done, in the lack of communication or miscommunication and other issues. It will come about. Don't talk about the Anwar and Guan Eng chief in Penang. Even the issue of awarding datuships also got problem in Penang. Some parties say no datuships for politicians, some parties say must have. Even that becomes an inter-party quarrel. Selangor will have the same thing. Okay? But these are normal issues to me. These are this shows that the three parties are growing, are working together more. If they are not working together, you will never see these issues. It is because we are working together, that's why the differences appear, and that's why the parties act to resolve these differences. Crisis after crisis that you see from the day we started as Pakatan till today, many of them are no longer in people's minds anymore. Why? Because they were not as big a deal as people make it out to be at that point in time. Are there going to be more crises in the future? Of course. Will I fight with Dr. Zhou one day? He's a nice guy, I like him. But there will be differences. Okay? The reason why we are three parties in the first place because we have our own platforms, we have our own beliefs in the way things need to be done. Even if we believe in the same goal, reaching the goal via this way, or via this way, there are going to be differences. You know, even simple things lah. I'm not pointing to yesterday's event, but even simple things. Do we demo go to the street for every single thing that we are against? Or do we pick and choose? Or do we not go to the streets at all? Even little things like that. We all have the same objective. No? Anti-ISA, anti-this, anti-that. But doesn't mean that everything we agree on the manner that we carry it out. Those are very, very important points. So, I'd like to believe that Pakatan is made of a lot of sterner stuff. And I tell you what made us sterner in terms of the relationship between these three parties.